I've been pushing this video on the sidelines, not wanting to react to it for many reasons. It's not, it's bad, but it's not extremely that bad. It's just that, like, think of it like, you're watching a really, suggestive scene with your parents in Netflix. It's, something that you just want to walk away and you just don't want to do ever again. And you try to avoid it every single time. Well, this is one of them. The video is called The Satisfying Failure of a Horrible X Factor Judge. I heard there's going to be so much level of, pretty much close to, so much cringe in it from just pure embarrassment. I actually don't know this judge. I never actually seen this case of or I'm trying to make it seem like it's like a legal proceeding. No, I actually never have seen this video or seen what happened or what this judge did at all. I'm very interested. Obviously it's by Sunny V2 because who else do I react to nowadays? I sound very boring. Anyways, let's begin.
Took was 12 nasty sentences.
It's absolutely disgusting. You have no identity.
For this horrible X Factor judge to lose her entire career permanently. But with evidence suggesting it was deliberately planned by
keyword here is permanently.
Producers, there are layers to this story you likely haven't ever heard. The scandal involved 2 X Factor judges.
Yeah, I've never heard of this story or whatever.
Natalia Kills and her husband Willie Moon, both of whom were already hated before the viral episode. For example, 4 months before losing everything, they'd promote X Factor on the red carpet with the most arrogant interview ever.
It's gonna be a very exciting journey. No, I'm kidding.
Turning the audience against them before the season even started. It's funny because neither of them are the nice one. I get the creepiest vibes off these two. They're like cartoon characters that are purposefully written to be hated, which it seemed they were almost pleased with. For example, Natalia seemed proud to have tried burning her ex's house down.
I just
What?
thought it seemed like a good idea to try and set fire to the house after an argument with my boyfriend. Yeah,
They just both seem entitled. Obviously, the little, it's kind of crowned for a king, but it's actually, I'm gonna see what else it's called for. Is it also called a crown? Crown for queens. Oh, name. I guess it still technically got a crown. I don't know. Crowns called. Well, I did phrase it wrong, but I'm gonna go with crown because But you guys can't really see it, but yeah, this crown really matches her princess syndrome, does it? It's like, honestly, it's like it's like those like stereotypical bullies inside cartoon. Take Toy Story for example, where like the what was his name? I think it was like Seth or something, Sid or whatever. I don't know. Like he had like a skull on his shirt. It's like the stereotypical like bad person inside a cartoon, and this is like almost the same thing. But you would expect her to be very, 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 very entitled.
I'm like that kind of crazy.
While her husband's interviews might have been even worse.
Wow,
When was that
can't get
released?
worse.
Just a couple of months ago.
I'm not really sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's all out of your hands.
I really don't know anything what's going on. I'm here at, I've been forced here.
They should have never been chosen as X Factor judges.
What? So much for promoting the platform you work on. I've sort of just been forced to come here. What?
But it turns out they'd last only one single episode. The
Really?
broadcast started with a pretty dark foreshadow.
Well, I like a bit of trouble.
Yeah, we are live, Natalia. I'll just remind you that we are live. You two are going to be trouble.
But despite
Literally,
claiming
he
that
just
she
said we're live, or he
liked a
said
bit
we're
of
live.
trouble, Natalia was fairly gracious toward the other contestants.
You are fantastic.
That would be until Joe Irvine took the stage, with his performance igniting the darker side of Natalia's personality.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just gonna state the obvious. We have a doppelganger in our midst.
Despite Joe performing in basic formal attire, Natalia made the claim that he'd copied her husband's style.
I am disgusted.
Oh. Yep, you can see why I've been holding this video back. The level of cringe is it's too strong.
How much you have copied my husband.
Just keep smiling, bro. There's nothing else you could do. There's really nothing else you
From
could
the
do.
hair to the suit, do you not have any value or respect for originality?
To which Joe responded by paying her a compliment.
Thank you, Natalia. You're beautiful.
Natalia responded to this by insulting Joe again.
It's
Oh god.
absolutely disgusting. You have no identity.
You have no identity.
I can't stand it. I'm ashamed to be here.
Which is followed by more insults from her husband, who likened Joe to a serial killer.
I feel like you're gonna stitch
Oh.
someone's skin to your face and then kill everybody in the audience.
Despite Joe standing up for himself, Natalia tore him down again.
I think I look really good. And
I think
You
you
look
look
good.
good because you're
You
dressed
look
as my
very,
husband.
very
Being
beautiful,
opposite
man.
to the
Very
advice
beautiful.
that she'd
Very,
offered
very
in a
beautiful.
previous interview.
What piece of advice would you give to sort of
Mother
young,
has woken
aspiring
up.
musicians?
Do whatever you feel like, because that's what's honest.
During this same video, she displayed her love for the internet, although as a result of her X Factor episode, it seemed this opinion was about to change rapidly. Natalia's embarrassing blow-up was instantly uploaded to YouTube, where it gained 4.5 million views in under 48 hours, and as you might expect, some pretty funny comments. She said he copied her
Cleopatra.
husband, but she copied Lord Farquaad. Dressed like her husband? Did her husband invent suits? She must have been so pissed when Justin Timberlake released Suit and Tie, while a different
Oh my
YouTuber
gosh, bro. She had a fit when Justin Timberlake released Suit and Tie.
named Christopher Wayne made his own interesting discovery,
Willie Moon isn't so original himself.
showing that Willie Moon's song What I Want used the same chords and even lyrics as a Spinal Tap song from the
Never say you invented something on the internet, because guess what? Most likely you didn't. And if you claim that, especially something that's so common, you're gonna get very destroyed on the internet. And this guy is experiencing it right now. He's like, oh yeah, you copy my style and this and that. Guess what? Someone just pulled up this. Would I ever pull it up myself? Probably not, because I'm not that good at researching, but we got people on the internet that do that. They will literally go depths into your background. They will do everything. You have no idea how powerful
80s.
these
Lauren
dudes are.
Mulcahy then showed an even worse example, showing that Willie Moon's Yeah Yeah music video had shamelessly copied an Italian video from the 1970s. So instead of just copying the concept, he actually copied the music and filming style all the way to the camera angles. Wow. Viewers were even more brutal on Willie's music videos, as they'd state, you copied the name of the moon. Don't you have any respect of originality? Which was extra funny given the couple was still fairly unknown themselves.
Who is she? Who are you, Natalia Kills?
However, as highlighted by a different comment reading, I saw this all over my FB page and thought to check it out. The story was spreading rapidly,
Now to an X Factor scandal that's making headlines around the world.
but as the incident began to threaten Natalia's life, the judge that sat
I was staying on my shirt. And now I'm pissed. I sound like an AI, but I'm actually kind of pissed. I gotta stay. Actually, oh, I'm lucky it's on my trousers. I don't like my trousers that much, but my shirts. Oh, you best believe I do not like stains on them.
beside her would try to calm the backlash. He'd state, I'm completely against bullying, but fighting fire with fire ain't the way.
Oh, trust me when I say this. When it comes to online, there is nothing but fire and weapons.
Although while Stan Walker chose to stay professional, the fourth judge Melanie Blatt wasn't quite so gracious. She'd tweet, "I've tried to keep my cool and stay professional, but really Natalia Kills? Sorry love, you're a twat." Mel then added this during a morning radio interview.
"I think she should apologise to Joe. I just think Joe deserves an apology. I don't think it was
Yeah,
fair."
yeah. We're mentioning the... Okay, well, I guess the video is about this, these horrible couple, but like, can we just get like a momentary for Joe? Come on, guys. This is like, does he have a Facebook or something? Like, probably not really Facebook. What am I saying? Does he have a Twitter? Go show him some love on Twitter. Show him love somewhere. Joe needs it.
While even Simon Cowell would give his own opinion. It was hateful, she sounded mad, it didn't even make sense. Natalia finally responded 4 days later, writing, "At last, I'm relieved that I'm finally able to break the silence," before telling her side of the story. "The show brought me on to bring my passion, dramatic expression, and perspective. I was encouraged to be outspoken and things got out of hand. Joe,
Yeah, but there's also expectations. It's not like you'll go to a job interview and, like, you know, you expect to say everything in a job interview. No, it's literally you go there to get hired. You don't want to go there not to get hired. That's the point of job interview. You're not going to reveal everything. If they ask something like, "Yeah, do you have like it's like, "Yeah, did you have a job before this?" It's like, "Yeah, I did OnlyFans." "What did you do on OnlyFans?" "Oh, you want to know what I did? I put these mommy milkers to the test. That's what I did." Anyways, OnlyFans link description.
I hope you can forgive me and I wish you all the best. Be natural, unconventional, and be you, which is followed by a similar explanation from her husband. The show encourages judges to be
I'm not even lying when it said similar. I thought it was just a copy and paste. I was gonna laugh.
And highly opinionated. It went too far and I never intended to single anyone out. I wish the contestants, crew, and particularly Joe all the best, although this didn't fix anything. Ha ha ha, now you say something but your career is over. Oh wait, it never started. A career which was getting started was ironically Joe Irvine's, as his previous X Factor audition gained hundreds of thousands of views. He'd be tweeted by Ed Sheeran, who wrote, "Don't worry about what anyone else says, man. Enjoy yourself with it, that's what singing is about, not what other people think." While
Ed Sheeran, this is awkward. Short intermission.
Lord sent Joe a handwritten card with cupcakes.
Yes, I watch Baki.
Meanwhile, for Natalia and her husband, viewers filed complaints with official governing bodies, while a petition titled "Take Natalia Kills Off X Factor" gained 70,000 supporters, which would be labeled as a victory, because the couple was fired before their second episode, with the show's chief executive stating, "While the judges on X Factor are expected to provide critiques of the performances, we will not tolerate such destructive tirades from any of the judges. We no longer have confidence that Kills and Moon are the right people to perform the role of X Factor judges, and they will leave the show effective immediately." Natalia was then also fired from her record label, with UK X Factor judge Louis Walsh stating, "She'll never work again, I reckon. Honestly, I mean, who's gonna hire her? Nobody." As a result, they chose to leave the country, solidifying the couple had lost absolutely everything. But was the whole thing even real? When we talked about Natalia's apology, we ignored one specific sentence. A lot goes on behind the scenes of a reality show, and what you see isn't always the whole story. Willie had made a similar claim writing, "The reality of reality TV is that there's a lot the viewer doesn't see," and whilst they were both leaving the country, Natalia stated this.
"There are many sides to the story, and I am not about to get an entire industry in trouble that has been going on for years and years, entertaining the masses."
Were they trying to avoid accountability, or had the stunt been planned by X Factor? The performance itself was certainly a bit suspicious. In a video taken by an audience member, Natalia looks toward her husband as if they were already both on board with the judgment that they'd give. It was also a little too convenient that in the 1 hour 55-minute episode, Joe just so happened to be the show's last performance, as if he was put there deliberately so they could end the show with a bang. Their comments were also in contrast to Joe Joe's original tryout, where the couple offered love, positivity, and encouragement, while we could also observe his natural dress style to be the opposite of Natalia's husband. So why the sudden change to formal? In a video titled The Truth About Natalia Kills, Justin Matters reached out to a former X Factor producer who explained,
"We purposely instructed one of the stylists to make Joe look very similar to her husband, in hopes to get a reaction out of Willie, not Teddy herself."
If the show was truly trying to achieve a blow up by Willie, this would make Natalia's independent reaction real, yet maybe she knew exactly what was planned, as she'd maintain it was a publicity stunt resulting in a viral media storm. Yet to throw another curveball,
just like you know, just like stuff on the side of movies are not worth as much as evidence. Think of it like this: like, you got this Gatorade bottle that was in Breaking Bad. Guess what? It was like behind the scenes. It was like on the desk, like right here. Like, it's a Gatorade bottle. I want something significant. You know what I want significant? I want the controller that they use in Breaking Bad. Or I'm just go off of my example. But like, come on, bro. And most likely people who sell that stuff are just like producers who had like the most smallest role, but they claim to be a part of Breaking Bad. That's what I'm trying to go off of here. It's like, oh my gosh, they had no role whatsoever. This producer that probably sent them the information is probably just like the most minimalistic role possible. They're probably the janitor, if anything. They have nothing.
Natalia also stated,
I want to hear something from like the top dogs. I want to hear something from like the announcers or like the CEO. I want to hear something from them.
This.
I feel like everyone needs to put the idea of it being a manufactured conspiracy theory behind them. There's really
Also, how wide is this escalator? Oh,
she might have rather been dismissing this conspiracy instead.
The judges wanted out, so they behaved like this to deliberately get kicked off the show.
As a recent Instagram post still implies her episode was somewhat staged. She'd write, "So who thinks TV talent shows are rigged? Just curious, totally not related to any personal experiences at all. Certainly not trying to suggest anything. What, who, me? I would never. Lose a tooth in the comments, insults, opinions, and incorrectness only thanks," seemingly writing this last sentence as she knew it was coming anyway. Despite a full 9 years passing since Natalia's infamous moment, her comments are still filled with nothing but savage criticism. For example, she'd recently announced that her house had been burnt down by a fire, which received no sympathy but rather comments such as, "Damn, karma is out here doing the job." Even advice that she'd...
I was gonna pause it. Didn't literally her house get burned down? Or not her, she burned her boyfriend's house down.
Announced that her house had been burnt down by a fire, which received no sympathy but rather comments such as, "Damn, karma is out here doing the job." Even years later, "Oh dear, your poor husband suits. Oh well, you reap what you sow, dear. Oh no, how tragic."
Your poor husband soups. Well, I guess gonna have to make new ones now. Yeah, what a piece of shit of a judge. Also, I'm gonna mention that too, like, evidence that we get from producers and people who had such small roles, or even roles that are not significant enough to even be considered really evidence, you more or less take the information with a grain of salt, I feel as if are kind of pointless. Like I mentioned earlier, like, think of Breaking Bad. Like, this Gatorade bottle was in the background. It was like on the desk, but like it was only in the camera frame for like a second. And then a producer on the show who probably has like barely any status at all, if anything none, gets it, sells it online, and uses the fact that he was a producer. He's like, "Yeah, I was a producer for Breaking Bad. In fact, this is one of the Gatorade bottles that was in the background of the scene," or, you know, "This was the Gatorade bottle in the scene of Breaking Bad." Like, wow, so cool. Like, you know, stuff like that, you have to take it all with a grain of salt. It's like, I like, who would believe that? It's like, what role did you, like, okay, a lot of people would, but like, what role did you have that, you know, makes you want to believe it? Because if you're just like a random editor, like, who are you? Audio maker, who are you? So like, all this information, especially when that guy said like a producer of or whatever inside that reality show said that it was all staged, like, you know, no one's gonna take that with a grain, with like evidence. People are gonna be like, "Oh my god, it's so real," but like, anybody logical would be like, it's probably not true. If anything, it's just like digging further for the attention. But even if it was true, then something's going on in this industry. That'll be all. Bye.